All right, Pac-Man is back with 11.8, page 3. Just got some calculating volumes here and then a couple of challenging problems. Um, length times width times height, it doesn't matter, right, what order I do it in. If I change the order of the numbers, it's all, I just took the base, made this was the base before, right? So this is length, right? Width, and this is my height. If I change it, this is my length still, but now this is my width and this is my height, right? Oh, got a new length now. Same width, different height. So I can change this however I want to orient it so that I can multiply numbers in any way I want. And also, what property tells me I can do this? Commutative, right? So this one's asking me for a length, a width, and a height. So I'm going to give them those numbers based on the way they've oriented this rectangular prism. And so remember, length is always in the front. So here's my length, right? Width is what's going away from me, right? And then this is obviously my height, okay? So the length of the rectangular prism is 4 inches. Okay, we're going to label that. The width is 5 inches. Easy peasy. And the area of the base, well, area equals length times width. So that equals 4 times 5, which of course equals 20. Okay. And so my base area is 20 inches squared. How many numbers did I multiply? 2, right? So my exponent is a 2, all right? The height is, of course, 6 inches. So the volume is base times area of or base times height. So I've got 20 times 6. Volume equals base times height, which equals 20 times 6, which is 120, because 6 times 2 is 12, and then I add my 0. So I get 120 inches, what? Cubed. Now I only multiplied 2 numbers here, but that's really the 3 numbers, right? Length times width times height, right? That gives me my 3 dimensions. Okay, now we can do these ones. Doesn't matter what order, so my volume is length times width times height. So let's go 3 times 2 times 3, right? 3 times 2 times 3. Parentheses around the first 2, 3 times 2. You got it, 6. 6 times 3 is 18. I've got 18 centimeters, what? Cubed. Put a 3 up there. How many numbers did I multiply? 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's another one. Volume equals length times width times height. So I'm going to go 1 times 2 times 6. This ought to be easy, right? 1 times 2. 2 and 2 times 6 is 12. So I get 12 inches. Volume is cubed. All right, so here we got number 4, number 5, reason quantitatively. Rachel, Timothy, and Robin. Rachel, Timothy, Robin. 1, 2, 3, right? Each make the rectangular prism song. So they each make that one. So that one's Rachel's. If they stand all their prisms together side by side to make one large rectangular prism, what is the volume of the new prism? How do the dimensions change? So look, we're going to either change this way, or this way, right? And for me, side by side, I'm just going to lay them down like one here, one here, one here. So I'm going to extend this out, right? 2. So we've got, here we have Rachel, R, we've got Timothy right here. Okay, and we've got Robin, Timothy and Robin, right? So now I've got 3, and then all of this is going to still go back. And so you can visualize how that's going to look, right? And so this is still going to be 3, right? 3 tall. So we're going to go from 1 to 1, 2, 3 millimeters, right? And then it's just length times width times height. So if this is 3, this is 3, and this is still 8. I've got 8, 3, and 3. So it's 8 times 3 times 3, right? So volume equals 8 times 3 times 3. Doesn't matter what order I do my numbers in. Shouldn't matter. I'm going to go 3 times 3 and do that one first because I know that's going to give me a small one. Remember, I like to start with the small numbers to keep the values small, right? So this equals 8 times 9. And 8 times 9 is 72, right? So that's 72 millimeters cubed is the volume if they put all 3. Okay, if they had just one, it would be 8 times 3 is 24. 24 times 3, still 72, right? So if I did 8 times 3, that would be 24. That would have been one of those. It says, what is the volume of the prism? How did the dimensions change? The length went from 1 to 3 millimeters. Now we could have stacked them one on top of the other. That would have been side by side if we flattened them over, right? No matter how you placed them next to each other, we would have still gotten this. If I had one long and 24 inches long, it would be 24 times 3 still, right? All right. Last one, the rectangular prism is made of 1-inch cubes. If more layers of cubes are placed on top of the rectangular prism, how many more cubes are added to the prism? 2 more layers. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase Rob here. 2 more layers means I'm gonna add to the top, right? So this line here is gonna go up 2 more, okay? And then I'm gonna go up 2 more here and connect those so I can get an idea. Up 2 more and connect those. Up 2 more, and then I'm gonna finish connecting this so I can get an idea, all right? And I know that's 2 layers, so I'm gonna split it in half. Okay, and then, so that's as far as I'm not gonna draw my lines all the way across the top, but you can tell that this has gone up 2, right? So this is 2 right there, 2 layers, okay? How long is it? It's gonna be 7 layers long, okay? Right? And how deep is it gonna be? This way, this is still 7, right? So I've got 7, 7, 2. So what would the volume be of the new rectangular prism? We'll do that next. How many more cubes are added to the prism? Well, how many more cubes is the volume, right? It's because they're 1-inch cubes. So I'm gonna go volume equals 7 times 7 times 2. So these are the new layers, N, L. So this equals 49 times 2. And so I'm gonna write over here 49 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Right, carry my 1. 2 times 4 is 8 plus my 1. 9, I get 98. So I get 98 cubes, which is 98 cubic inches because each is 1 cubic inch. The new volume, the overall volume equals, so now I've got to check into my dimensions. So I'm going to go length times width times height, 7 times 7, okay, and this was 4 here, and I added 2, so it went from 4 plus 2 equals, this equals 6, so times 6. So now I have 49 times 6. 49 times 6, or this number times 3 for my math people. 6 times 9 is 54, right? 6 times 4, 24, plus my 5, 29. 94 inches cubed. And if you quickly, 98, okay, times 3, because that's 2 and that's 6, 24, 29. I still get 294, just for my math people. All right, last page coming up.